Alrighty, so here we are. It's a best of 5 for those of you that are new to Afreeca World. And so, spawning down in the bottom left, making his debut in the Afreeca World Invitationals. He played once or twice in our team league, but this is his first time in one of these Invitationals. It is herO. And his opponent spawning up in the top right-hand side, the current reigning king of Afreeca World. It is Infinity Gaming Solar. So, we're going to find out how these two guys are going to play. herO starting off with what's going to be a low ground wall off, getting a gas, so no cannon rush or anything crazy like that. Although I guess we can't rule that out entirely. But Solar playing at standard, so no cheeky cheeses coming out just yet. But these are best of 5 series in Afreeca World. We like to really flush out the matches, and we usually do get some close ones. So we'll just have to see how this is going to play out. Solar going for that hatchery first. It's been a while since we had a PVZ, so I'm pretty glad to have one in Afreeca World. Or I guess we had been in the last one, but it was Solar, and he demolished Haas 3-0. As far as the builds go, pretty standard stuff. Gateway Expand coming out of herO. Solar, on the other hand, just going for that hatch pool gas. So I'm actually really interested to see what these guys are going to do for the meta. Or as far as the meta goes. I mean, will herO go Stargate? herO is one of the players. I mean, he's sort of like, if we had to describe, it's a bit of a niche thing to say, but if we had to describe herO as a Norse god, he would be Loki for sure, as he's always tricky, always doing all sorts of just mischievous builds and whatnot. So Solar coming in, his Overlord's gonna see the front. Pretty standard stuff. It's Cerulean Fall. It's one of the larger maps. You're not really too worried about proxies or anything. Even proxy Stargates aren't too common on this map, to my knowledge. Just the angles aren't necessarily the best for that. But, of course, you can never rule anything out. Stargate is on the way at the back of herO's base. Solar probably not going to go in to scout it there, herO. Just trying to make sure it's not seen or anything like that. But a Stargate is a pretty common thing. Adept shading out for herO. Protoss players have been opening up with these 2 Adepts lately, or for quite a while now at this point. What they do with them, though, can always vary. I wouldn't be surprised if someone like herO does try to get a bit ambitious with them, so we'll see where herO's Adept is going to shade on in. Currently checking out, making sure there's a 3rd base. There is, so everything looking pretty normal as far as this goes. And then the Stargate's finished and an Oracle's on the way. Not opening up with a Phoenix like some players do. Getting out the Oracle first. We'll just have to wait and see what herO's going to do with this. An Adept is, or another Adept is on the way. He's currently got 2 out already. One of them's actually shading on in, and you may actually get a drone here. herO manages to get 1 drone shading around, messing with Solar. There's actually 2 Adepts, and Solar isn't really prepared for this right now. One of the Adepts took a bit of damage, and they are going to have to shade out, but 2 drones and getting out with both the Adepts alive is actually very significant. Speed is on the way, but the Adepts get a bit of a head start. They may get caught, though, so herO's going to have to shade these right away. The Lings are coming on in. The shade has started. The Oracle could possibly save them, but no, it's just going to fly right on by. At least one of these Adepts will go down, but the Oracle is going to look for some damage on the other side of the map. The Lings are now coming in, but herO's got that wall, so doesn't have to worry there. Now the Oracle's coming in. There's 2 Queens, though, which puts out a fair bit of damage with this Oracle actually going towards the main base, but there's a Spore in the main, so herO not finding too much damage, accidentally clicking on that hatchery and getting out. So I believe he got a single drone there. Yeah, 1 drone with the Oracle, 2 with the Adept, so not great damage. He did force a drone pull for a while, though, so it's hard to say exactly where herO is. He would have liked to get more done, but I mean, committing to a Stargate and not getting major damage isn't something new for Protoss players, so we're just going to have to wait and see how he's going to follow this up. Currently, he just has the 1 Oracle, though. He's not committed to the 2 and the Phoenix to lift the Queen. There's actually 2 Queens here, so that Phoenix can't even lift both of them. And the Oracle took a lot of damage. And now Solar, he's a confident guy. Just look at this. 14 drones just popping out right now, so he's going to swell up in that number. herO likely going to be starting a 3rd base at some point, if I had to guess. Although, actually, never mind. He's going for a 2 base all in. Test. Oh my gosh. Wait, no, never mind. All right, I was just gonna thought something was off with the audio, but everything is fine. So herO is getting up that third base, but this is kind of the fake third base when really he's got, I believe it's 8 gateways up, or 4, pardon me. Never mind. I assumed he already had a few up, but it is going to be that double Archon drop anyway, coming out of herO. Morphed in the middle of the map. There's even a Zealot to defend from those Lings if they found those Archons. Oh, you can't leave without that other Archon herO. Oh, guess this poor... Oh, there we go, he realizes. Goes, picks it back up. Now, Lings are going to be hitting this third base hard. The Oracle's here. The third base has a fair bit of health on it, so he won't be able to just right-click on it and pick it off and get out. So Solar, or herO, is keeping this base alive for now. However, he is going to maybe want to get up a wall so he can put those Adepts in. Either way, herO's all in, well, or somewhat all in is coming in. There's the 2 Archons and the Zealots. The Zealots are going to do a great job tanking. Now, the drones are pretty exposed here, and it's mainly just Lings here for Solar getting on top of this. So the Zealot's doing a good job buffering. Archon's trying to get on the drones, but so far no drones have fallen. However, these drones are being forced out on the map, and they're just going to have to either run. But herO's committing here. Interestingly enough, this timing hit a bit earlier than the normal one because he did not wait for charge. And this is why it caught Solar so off guard. Solar, though, he's now been building up this Roach count. Oh, the Archons want to get a shot off on those drones, though. They get 1 shot off, but it does take 2. So Aspire now on the way for Solar. He managed to hold this attack, but herO had a third base up behind this. He's going to be able to start chrono boosting out probes if he chooses. He is, however, going into that double robo attack, which is not what you want versus Aspire and what's going to be eventually Mutalisks. And on a big map like this, sometimes when it comes down to Mutas, it can always lead into a base trade, but if herO's army is on his side of the map, going out and attacking will not be an option because of how long it will take. The Warp Prism and the Archons can always poke out, but he has yet to identify the Spire, so he's not going to have an answer. Of course, herO always knows this can be a possibility, and Solar is a guy who can bring out all sorts of styles, but herO focusing more on what how he's going to deal with the ground, and the Spire doesn't seem to be a thought on his mind at the moment. The Phoenix is scouting out. He's just seeing the small amount of Roaches. You got to be thinking, all right, Hydra should be coming out relatively soon here. He's going to see the Roaches in the main, and okay, he may scout this now. He gets in, but he doesn't quite see it. So a very good Spire position from Solar. Warp Prism sharking around, but now 9 Mutas are on the way, so herO's got to be thinking that something's up. I mean, if he hangs out with this Warp Prism here any longer, he is going to lose it. If he knew about the Mutas, he'd be making Phoenix right now. He'd be researching Blink. He'd be throwing up shield batteries, but he's completely in the dark. He's got these High Templar. They're going to be forced to morph into an Archon. herO's actually, looks like he's planning on getting a 4th base, but he's going to have to deal with these Mutas for now. I don't know if he's seen the Mutas yet. They're now heading down towards the 3rd base, and herO's going to be completely exposed. Okay, maybe now he knows. He's getting up a cannon. He's starting a Phoenix. Shield batteries are on the way up, but these Mutas, they're making a beeline towards these High Templar, towards the 3rd base, whatever Solar's going to choose. And now this 3rd base, herO is going to take a lot of damage here. The current Afreeca World Champion is looking good. The Archons are coming in with this Warp Prism. 2 Archons can shoo away this number of Mutas. Only 9 Mutas, so 7 probes going down. It could have been more, but herO did identify that. The Archons are very good for pushing this around. Actually, so ballsy with this Prism. I mean, that Prism gets picked off with the Archons in it, and herO is in a lot of trouble. For now, the Solar coming on in. He's going to pick off 2 more workers. The Phoenix count going up slowly. Archons are in position. Phoenix can now begin kiting and working on these. High Templar are going to get dove on. They may be forced to morph into Archons, and they are. So no Psystorm on the way, and now he's got no Psystorm, and all these Roaches are on his side of the map. The Phoenix are actually going to pick off all these Mutas here. However, it's coming down to a big fight, and herO may have overstepped. I believe his Archons are just coming in there. He's got 3 Immortals. The Archons and Zealots need to buffer. With this Prism, herO should be able to micro this very well. There is a Psystorm. There's another one there, and it's getting on top of all these Roaches, so Solar's attack is already getting weakened here, and these Immortals are standing strong. This attack is being pushed back. Solar still ahead on supply by a large margin, but a lot of this supply is back at home, so he is forced to retreat. And now Solar, just on this Roach Ravager attack, now going to be up against Immortals, Archons, High Templar, and this Prism, which herO has been microing with. So it's going to be a very tough hold for Solar. He's up on supply, but Supply does not mean everything in this game. The 4th base is up on the way for herO, though. He's getting +2, so he's not completely committing. Maybe thinking that Solar's more prepared for this. We'll see what herO's able to get done, though. Those Corrosive Biles always going to be zoning, though. Roach counterattack heading towards the 3rd base. When all you have is Roaches and Lings, that's certainly one of the options you can go for. Lings forcing these High Templar into Archons always can be nice, so here we're not going to have quite as much Psystorm. These 2 Lings now working away on this Archon. They're going to die quickly. However, now these Roaches may have found their way in, and herO's out on the map. So looks like some damage may be done here. Solar does need to micro these Roaches to get maximum efficiency. The shield battery gets picked off. For now, though, he's just dealing with this, and now he may need to retreat as this recall is coming in, so he gets forced back, but herO's so smart, only recalls half the army, and he's going to trap these Roaches with the other half, although some of them may actually get out there, so not quite a complete trap. And the reason for that is that Solar is counterattacking, or I guess countering the counter to the counter. But so far, no major commitments from either of these players just yet. Solar doesn't want to be taking a fight, that's why he's opting to hit in multiple locations. These Roaches can have a very bad day as they run into this Protoss army, which will soon have +2, by the way. Solar, though, he has bought time. He's gotten to the Hydras, which really are the backbone of the modern Zerg army. And then Lurkers as well, which really allow this Zerg to stand against a Protoss force like this. Hydras will make it easier, but the Lurkers coming out will complete this. The army of herO, though, is so scary as he approaches max. This is going to be a +2 Protoss army coming in here. So many Archons. There's also High Templar. 12 Immortals versus this. Immortals not the best versus Hydras, but High Templar certainly are. This army's so red. Solar's going to have to take a fantastic engagement, but I think he's eating just a few too many Psystorms. Some of the Archons are starting to pop, however, so much is still here for herO. Supply is even right now. Solar making as many reinforcements as he can. The Hydras do pretty good if they can kite back without being punished. However, he is being nickeled and dimed away here. And just looking at this, herO's going to push through, and he's going to take the first map versus our current champion. Very well played by herO. Taking that first game. And we're going to get into the next one, which is going to be Blue Shift. So good game there. Solar, the Mutas didn't quite get enough done there, and then he committed to all the Roaches, and then herO sort of just went from there. The Mutas didn't quite get enough done. It is quite a commitment for Zerg to make that, as opposed to teching into other things. Anyway, we'll get the players into the lobby, and then we'll get into the next game. As I said, it's going to be Blue Shift. Alrighty, we are getting the players into the lobby. Thanks to everyone for tuning on into this Afreeca world. Make sure to share it out and whatnot. Both players are ready. Alrighty, we are loading on in. The next match. Make sure to leave a favorite for the stream. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and stuff. That's where a lot of the announcements for these tournaments are made. Whoops, we don't want to be doing that just yet. Alrighty. The new challenger spawning up in the top right-hand side of the map. It is Root herO, managing to take the first game. If we have a series that's just like that, I will be very content. And spawning it down in the bottom left-hand side of the map, pardon me. It is Infinity Gaming Solar, wanting to do his team proud. I mean, he did him well. He did his new team well in the last Invitational, which he won the 8-man. So Solar's had a good run in these tournaments without being defeated, but he's currently down 0-1. Gateway on the way for herO. Standard low ground wall-off stuff. You'll have to forgive me for that. My keyboard may be on the way out. Got a loose keycap. Alrighty, so herO always harassing with his probe is just something that he pretty much does in most of his games. Solar forcing that mean probe away. Low ground wall off. Nothing out of the ordinary here from both these guys. They're pretty much just having a complete do-over. We'll see if there's any aggression, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see just a Stargate once again from herO. He could always go for a Twilight. herO is a guy who can be a bit more inclined to go for a Twilight Council with Blink Stalkers and stuff. That's something he's really known for. So that probe still hanging around driving solar nuts. This has got to have denied a fair bit of mining time. Alright, solar getting that drone back to mining. And herO once again immediately goes to try and mess up that pathing there. Just trying to be a nuisance. And this time it is going to be a Stargate from the looks of it. But this time it will be a proxy Stargate. Blue Shift. I mean, the location to the main base is not far away. But it's rather far out of the Zerg scouting path here. So we'll just have to wait and see. Is solar going to clue into this? The whole point of proxying this building is that it hits just a minute earlier. And we'll see if solar's prepared to deal with this. He did a good job versus the Oracle last time. The two Adepts got some damage done, but this time I'm not sure if they will. The first Adept now out on the map. That Adept moving on out. Oh, first one's already shaded in. Lings are going to try and force this back. So far, no damage being done, but the main story is this Oracle. You're going to be chrono boosting this out, I imagine. There it is. And now, is Solar going to be prepared for this? He's not. He currently just has the one queen in the main base, the second queen here. He's producing another at each base, though. So 2 queens, or one of them is actually being made at the third, so there is only going to be 1 queen in the main base. If this queen's sort of out in this position to intercept, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. The Oracle's popping, and Solar's going to be in a lot of trouble here. Oracle's coming on in. Spore starts. That's just the normal time, and this is an early Oracle, though. 2 drones going down so far. 3 queens are coming in. 3 drones have gone down so far. The Oracle now bouncing towards the natural, getting another 1. Alrighty, so 4 have gone down. This other queen's going to shoot it away. Oracle will survive and get out. 4 drones, not as bad as it could have been. Solar pulling those queens in very quickly. herO not quite getting as much as he'd like with that Oracle, or as much as he could have. Ling's now found the Stargate. Solar knows immediately that it's a proxy when that comes in. Phoenix going to pop out, not going to help these Lings, so herO not going to have the Stargate as an option later on in this game. He does have the 2 Oracles, though. Currently just looking at 4 drones, 7 Lings gone down. And now Solar sort of just getting to scout out exactly what's going on. Third base follow-up from herO. We'll just have to wait and see what Solar's going to do, or what herO's going to do as well. Solar can drone up now. He does still have to be wary of the Oracles, though. Roach Warren on the way for Solar, and this is a bit more than an early defensive Roach Warren. He could be looking to put on the aggression. 10 Lings on the way, so he's already making a few units here. I think this could be a big Roach swell from Solar. 2 more Overlords are on the way, so that's a big tell that he's going to be making a lot of supply worth of units, and I think this is a good call. Blue Shift, it's not a far distance to your opponent's base. The Phoenix comes in, though, actually lifts up the Queen. These Oracles going to get 5 more drones, massive damage done there, and they actually get out still alive, which is absolutely huge. Might not affect this all in too much here. However, it certainly is some good damage for herO. Now the Lings are moving across the map. The Oracles did burn some energy there, so they won't have as much to help with this. The Roaches are coming out. Creep has been spread across the map. Ling's gonna try and test the waters here. Not gonna find anything major. A lot more coming in. Roaches moving across the map. Queens moving across the map. Lings are gonna be flooding, and the army supply is going up and up for Solar. herO's going to have to be able to defend this well. He's got a shield battery on the way at his third base. However, I'm not sure if he's aware of the full scale of this attack. He's seen the roaches now, so he's going to have to react. Sentry's moving up to the front. Roaches are coming on in, and once this army is sort of on his doorstep, it's going to be tough for herO to deal with this. It looks like he may be going for a pseudo base trade right now, or just a full-on base trade, but his third's under fire. He's getting out an observer, but yeah, this is going to be a full-on base trade. Or no, herO hesitating a bit, pulling back. Maybe he was just going for an attack, but this is a full attack, and herO needs to deal with this. This is not a situation he could have base traded from. And Solar, I think, may have just made such a decisive move that he may be tying the series up. herO only on gateway units right now. Ravager is going to want to be throwing down those corrosive balls, transfused with these queens that have even come up here. Good force fields from herO pushing this back, but he only has so much right now. Ravager spilling forward, getting on top of this. The Natural's taken a lot of damage. Only 6 probes have gone down so far. However, that number could greatly increase in just a minute here. Corrosive Balls picking off the Warp Prism. Absolutely massive damage done. herO just has Stalkers versus Lings and Ravagers. They've got nowhere to go at this point. More probes falling, and looking at this, it's looking pretty good for our Korean Zerg here. The one queen going to be able to pick off both these oracles. So they won't be able to help clean this up eventually. herO pulling back. He's got these Stalkers, but it's just that. Stalkers. The third base is going down. herO may be able to hold on eventually, getting some Zealots. But these are unupgraded gateway units, and Solar has already done crippling damage. Rosabal is going to rain down on the Cybercore. Once that gets picked off, it's literally Zealots will be the option for herO. Solar can either keep going or he can start droning up, and he's actually started a lair behind the 6 drones now on the way. And he may even just be able to kill herO. herO's in a lot of trouble here. I think the only way that herO can bring this back is if he manages to just catch Solar off guard with a counter all in, but I think Solar's going to be quite aware of this, starting 9 more roaches back at home. So far ahead in supply. It's looking rough for herO in this game. Solar making a very decisive move, taking a bit of damage, but he had already made up his mind, and he made the play, and it worked. herO's going to be coming on in. He will have charge. He's starting up a Dark Shrine. One behind Dark Shrine, they say. Stalker's actually getting caught out here without a prism, so Solar going to be able to pick some of those off. Picking off 2 of them, very nicely done. And the army supply is so far ahead here. Charge is going to be finished up now. So it's just going to be charge lots hitting this Roach and Ravager army, but as long as Solar's consolidated, I don't see herO breaking this. These are unupgraded gate wall charge, but no +1 or anything like that. Dark Shrine not done, so Archons aren't an option, and herO's going to go for it, but seeing this army, he may just know that it is going to be over. Yeah, he can't engage this. The counterattack for Solar is going to come in, and I think that's going to seal the deal here. herO may just go for it and try, but his Natural's now in a lot of trouble, and his main base will be as well. herO's gonna go for it. Here we are. This is a lot of Zealots. They're gonna start spilling forward, but Solar gonna kite back against this. The Zealots starting to melt. There's just not enough here. And we are gonna be going into game 3 with a tied situation. 19 probes falling back at home. GG, Solar ties the series up, our current king. Yeah, I lost the first game, but you don't be a king by just falling down. And I haven't mentioned this yet in this broadcast today, but herO and Solar have played a lot. Just look, these guys have been very good, very consistent players in the scene for a long time, and as a result, they've played each other a lot. It's gone back and forth. herO always been sort of a very scary player, but Solar very solid. I think it's had the upper hand lately, but as far as their form goes right now, we can only wait and see, and so far, both these guys looking pretty good. You're getting these guys into the lobby. Next map is Acid Plant. Alrighty, both these players are ready. Solar versus herO. We are loading on into the next game. All right. Currently tied 1-1. Spawning down in the bottom right-hand side of the map, it is Infinity Gaming Solar. And his opponent, spawning up the top left-hand side of the map, it is Root Gaming's herO. So we've seen a lot of just, I guess, aggressively postured builds. I mean, turtling isn't a thing that really happens in StarCraft these days. You're always trying to do something to throw your opponent off. herO with the proxy Stargate. But we'll just have to wait and see. Solar can always go for something aggressive here, though. Gonna be playing pretty standard, or playing pretty consistent with himself. I mean, Stargate's first 2 games, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it a third. If you guys want to check out the bracket and all the past Afreeca worlds on Wikipedia, it's now under the info section that you can click on. Alrighty. So, Solar coming in with the Overlord standard stuff. Third on the way, 2 Lings. I assume we'll see an Adept out of herO. Chrono boosted out. Stargate starting eventually at the back here. Now keep in mind, we've had these guys are tied 1-1 from the difference in these builds, so we'll just have to wait and see how this one's going to play out. Or it's actually a Robo. Alright. Color me a fool, herO. In pretty much the exact same place. No, I'm not going to make a Stargate. I'm gonna make a Robo, and this is the sort of herO. This is a herO special, guys. I mean, Robo first opening's a lot less common than Stargate ones for Protoss, and now I feel as if this is one in which herO is really gonna bring his own flavor. We may see a Twilight Council. We could just see a few more gateways go up, something along those lines. But, we will just have to wait and see. herO changing it up, which is always good to see. I don't know what I was saying, but as I say that, 2 Lings run into the base as the Stalker was out of position, and so was the Adept. Solar hasn't actually scouted the Robo. He hasn't seen it. I think this Ling coming down will, though. Yeah, it will. So he sees the Robo, so Solar's aware of this. And herO's build, I mean, he just wasn't ready, though. You guys saw how casually those Lings just strolled into his base? Like they owned the place. And now we'll see what herO's going to go for. I mean, he's getting out Stalkers, so this could be some sort of gateway aggression, the fact that he's making more and more Stalkers. Warp Prism will actually allow him to kill off this Overlord, which will be nice. Twilight Council on the way. And now, 2 Adepts, 2 Stalkers into this Prism, and we'll just have to wait and see where this game is going to go from there. The Wallen is not complete here, and there's the Lings. The Probe's in the way, but that's not a full wall off, is it? These Lings are going to be able to get by. Yeah. herO's wall is a little bit off. That was too thick, and now he's going to have to pull the Probes, and this is a lot of Lings getting a lot of damage done. This is looking good for our current champion. The Warp Prism was actually forced to recall by herO. I guess he decided, I'm not going to get any damage done with this. Solar scouted it. But he's still taking so much damage back at home. This is not looking good. herO picking up the Probes to save them. Very fancy, very well done, but he's still not in a great spot. Solar rallying more and more Zerglings here. Roach Warren on the way, Queen's on the way. No lair just yet for Solar. However, he's starting up some Roaches. These can be safety Roaches. The Prism is moving out once again, but this is not a complete wall. Is it? I think these Lings can get around these Adepts, maybe? Okay, maybe they were just out of position. Let's see. Yeah, no, they can. Okay, so this is not looking good for herO. 2 Lings get in. Force field buying time for now, but this is a lot of Lings. The Prism comes back. So herO not even allowed to move across the map with his Prism. And Immortal's now out. Immortal's very good in the Warp Prism. Gonna be very good versus Roaches, but it is gonna be a blink all in from herO for the looks of it. He's on 2 bases. Solar, though, he's making plenty of Roaches back at home. The Immortal will be a sort of linchpin in this army when it comes to how well herO's going to micro this. He's got... Okay, there we go. herO's gone for the full wall up here. The Lings can't get in this time. However, the Cybercore is actually in a lot of trouble. Stalker's warping in. Going to be able to shoo these Lings away, but I mean, Stalkers don't kill Lings too quickly. Stalkers will have to blink on over that wall once it's finished up. And now herO's going to be going for some aggression. A Stalker moves forward and needs to get out of there. Blink is done. It can blink away. Nope, just dies instead. So herO, he's in quite a bit of trouble. Stalker's getting caught by these Lings that were out here. Gonna have to blink back over that wall. So this is just, I mean, herO's committed to this tech, but he's just not been allowed to attack by Solar. And he's warping in Stalkers, but they're on his side of the map. Those 2 Stalkers even missed their blink there. So herO, he's down on supply. Solar's getting up spines. He knows what's coming his way. And he's going to be feeling good. He's starting up a lair while this is on the way. This is quite a formidable force from herO. Keep in mind, we can't underplay what Solar's got. And herO with Blink Stalkers can always find something. However, this is being warped on the Stalkers trying to blink and be heroes, but I'm not sure what they accomplished. They may just have been hockeyed, but looking at this, the Lings are going to kill the Cybercore. And then they managed to get in. herO's got the Stalkers to chase him back, but herO did not commit to this attack. He's not started a 3rd base. He started charge. These Lings will get cleaned up, but Solar is just... This is just a poor game. herO's not feeling too good right now. I mean, it's just one thing goes wrong, and then another goes wrong, and then it just escalates from there. A guy like Solar is going to just punish you for anything, for any little thing. And now it's looking pretty rough for the Root player. I mean, he's trying to get up his 3rd base, but it's at almost the 8-minute mark. Stalker's chasing Lings. Solar can afford to lose these for days. There's now an even bigger hole in hero's wall. Doesn't have to worry about that for now. A Dark Shrine on the way for herO. 1 behind Dark Shrine. Warp Prism keeping Solar a little bit occupied, but the supplies do tell a story here. 4th base on the way for Solar. He's feeling confident enough for that. Stalker's going to unload here, but Stalkers only do so much damage. Solar got tons of Lings out on the map, just keeping eyes on his opponent. The Dark Shrine may be able to catch Solar off guard. I believe there's a Spore Crawler up at the front. However, or there is an Overseer, never mind, pardon me. Queen's going to get picked off. 2 Stalkers for a Queen, though. Looking at the resources lost, or hold on. It's one of these. By the time I remember all the keys. Either way, looking at the resource, just hero's not in the best situation right now. Looking at the army supply, this is a lot of roaches. Hero's going to need a miraculous hold. He's warping, and Sentry is the only spellcaster he has access to right now. They'll be able to buy time, but there's Ravagers here, and this is so much. Charge is done, but the army supply does tell a story here. 4 Immortals is very good versus roaches and Ravagers. Hero's going to have to take a miraculous fight, though. These Sentries, they're going to have to edit the map here. Corrosive Vials go down, and the army spills forward. More force fields going down, but that's the last of them for herO. These Immortals, they're putting out so much damage, they're trying their hardest, but probes are going down. The Nexus is going to fall right now. These 4 Immortals, I mean, there's no Warp Prism to aid them. A DT gets warped in. There's actually no Overseer with this army, so Solar may be forced back. herO took 20 probes in damage, and he's lost his 3rd base, but he's still alive. DT's getting a small amount of counter damage done, not enough, though. These DTs will be forced back, and with that, it's going to be pretty rough for herO. He's literally half the supply of Solar. He's maxed out, and herO knows that GG gets called. Solar taking map number 2, and it looked rough from the first game. I was like, oh no. Solar doesn't usually go down 0-1, but He says, nah, don't worry. Don't worry, we're fine. The next map, the 4th, is going to be Lost and Found. Alrighty, we're getting these guys into the lobby. herO's gonna have to work hard if he's gonna come back. Alrighty, both these guys are ready. We're gonna load on in. Thanks to everyone for tuning into this Afreeca world. Alrighty. Lost and Found. We'll see how this one's gonna play out. It's best of 5. This guy. Currently up 2-1, spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map. I mean, if herO can't do it, who are we gonna have? As I was saying before, guys, Solar, he's won the past 4 of these events. The rule is of these tournaments, you win the event, you get invited to the next one. That's how it goes. Between a Laser and Solar, they've pretty much won like half of them. But Solar is doing so well this run, beating some very high caliber players, and herO is going to be very tough. But keep in mind, we've got Sort of, who brought Solar close in his EVZ on the other side of the bracket. Then we've got Tasia. I'm not gonna say anything. I mean, it would be amazing if Tasia just comes out and bops everyone. Just 3-0 Sort of, 4-0 Solar. That would be a story. That would be something. I can't say that's gonna happen, but you never know. So, you never know with these tournaments. That's just how it goes. As far as the production tab tells us, it's pretty much the same openings as the last game. herO did change it up. With the Robo, we just have to wait and see. It's really that choice, Twilight, Robo, or Stargate. Usually it's the Stargate, sometimes it's the Robo, sometimes it's the Robo and a Twilight. That's pretty much PvZ to a degree. I mean, no cheeky aggressive proxies with gateways or anything like that. They're not as common in Legacy of the Void. These guys have really figured out the game. Or at least in PvZ, they're not as common. So as far as the builds go, Solar quite happy. Going to be getting up that 3rd base. Standard stuff here. Thanks to everyone for tuning on into this Afreeca world, though. Stargate on the way for herO once again, changing the position this time, but I mean, that game he won, it was with the Stargate. There was quite a distance between them. This map not as small as the others. Not massive, this one, but still not small. Ling scouting out for Solar, checking the standard proxy locations, but it's just going to be a normal Stargate. herO could always go for something like a double Stargate. Now this Adept gets in, 4 Lings pop just in time. Queen's going to come in, have to aid with that, shoo the Adept away. Queens are pretty much just Adept corrals at this point. Now the 2 Adepts are looking to find something. One of them's lost a fair bit of shields, though, so not too sure that it will. Maybe going to be able to pick off a Ling or 2. Taking a fair bit of damage. These Queens do spit out a bit against the Adepts. They do shade out, so getting like 2 Lings there, I think. But back on this side of the map, what's going on? We lost 3 probes. Where'd that happen? Ah, Lings got into the main base. Solar. Keeping me on my toes here with this observing. 3 probes go down. Some Ling... I believe it was just those 2 Lings that got that were out on the map earlier. Overlord gets picked off, but these Adepts, they're sort of forced back into a corner. This other one is going to have to come in. One of them will successfully shade across, but the Lings get in once again. herO needs to complete that wall. That pylon did not wall it off there. And now Lings is getting on into the main base. Oracle forced to activate his Pulsar Beam. It's not looking good for the new challenger. I mean, he started off strong. However, Solar hitting his rhythm, just doing whatever he feels like doing from the seam of things. Yeah, I'll send some Lings into your base. Spores are on the way for Solar, so he'll be prepared to deal with this Oracle, which doesn't have much energy, by the way. Phoenix is here as well. A second Stargate. Okay, this is what I was wondering if we'd see from herO. Now, Solar's completely aware of this choice, that there was a second Stargate made. But herO's committed now. He's going to be going likely into these Phoenix. Solar knows he's going to likely get out a quick Hydra Den. And as far as the workers killed, 15 Lings, 3 probes, and the Overlord. But herO's tech choice is going to be hard countered pretty well by Solar. I mean, he's just going to be able to drone up, eventually make some Hydras, force this back. herO's not planning like a big attack or anything like this. It's not like this is going to be Adept Phoenix or anything. No, this is pretty much just committing to Phoenix. Going to be making a relatively large number of them and trying to find something, but versus Solar, it's going to be tough for herO to find much of anything, I believe. Lings actually get in once again. herO, another misplaced pylon. Oracle comes on in. Gonna work away on these Lings, so no damage being done there, but I think it's just moral damage at this point. Phoenix looking for anything they can do. Once these Hydras are out, they will not be getting much done of anything. There's no 4th base for Solar yet, but he'll be starting one relatively soon, I imagine. Phoenix coming in, gonna lift up a Queen, but it's gonna be able to be transfused. Phoenix are shown the door once again. Ling's not gonna get in this time. herO's gonna be starting up his 3rd base. Phoenix looking for anything they can find, being forced away though. And I'm not sure what there's going to be for herO that's going to stop a big swell of Hydras moving across the map and ending the game. Lings are on the way. So just from that fact alone, I think it's going to be looking pretty rough for herO as this game moves on. He's making a lot of Phoenix, though. We'll just have to wait and see. He can pick off these Hydras, which will be a very nice pick off there. Some more rallying in slowly. Getting 4 Phoenix there, or 4 Hydras, pardon me. So nicely done. That's the sort of play that herO needs to make. He needs to make a few more of those, and he may be looking at a better situation in this game. However, we'll have to see if Solar's going to give him any of those opportunities. The 3rd base isn't really defended. Most of the units are at the natural, so we'll see if Solar goes right towards that base and maybe just right-clicks on it. Or just settles for a probe or two. Looks like it will be the probe or two there. Phoenix coming in once again. Lifting off a drone. Any bit of damage done is nice for herO. He does have the Oracle as well, which will be able to stasis forward, but you guys know this all too well. Right now we're looking at a bunch of Hydras and a Baneling nest. Evolved Muscular Augments will be finishing up relatively soon, and I think when that happens, we're going to be seeing Solar move out on the map. Phoenix coming in, picking off a fair amount of workers right now. However, these Phoenix are kind of trapped, and they may actually go down, a fair few of them. So far, I believe we've seen like 2 or 3 Phoenix go down. 3. Drones are going to be getting picked up. Bit of damage done. 8 drones going down, so Solar taking a bit of economic damage. However, herO still doesn't have much of anything to deal with this. He's making more and more Phoenix. I think that's his plan. That maybe herO or that maybe Solar just makes a ton of Lings or something, and that the Phoenix can eventually deal with everything. Because this is a lot of Phoenix. I mean, it's 15 Phoenix, 22 Hydras. I'm personally not aware on the math on this, but with all these Banes and Lings, it's going to be very tough for herO. He's got the sentries, which will be huge. A Revelation can go off on this army, or it may have to be a stasis trap. 3rd base, not even mining for herO. He's just been making units non-stop. Revelation goes down. Might have been better if he invested in a stasis ward there. Here we're seeing some Adepts warped in. That's going to be the tech of choice. However, it's a bit disjointed for herO. He's getting on top of the Hydra, so he lifts a great deal. The Hydra's starting to shred on some of these Phoenix, so reinforcements coming in. I think it's going to be just too much for Solar right now, and herO is going to be in a lot of trouble. These Adepts do not have resonating glaives. The Phoenix count has been shredded, and there's still a great number of Hydras on his doorstep. More Adepts are being warped in. But these are not resonating glaive Adepts. There's a few Banelings going to be morphing. herO, the Phoenix are going to be going in with this too. He lands on the Banelings. All the Adepts die. GG gets called. Solar takes the 3-1. So, the current champ lives to fight another day, and next we're going to be getting on into the match that I think everyone, and I mean everyone, wants to see. It is going to be Solar versus Sort of. You guys that have just been hiding, waiting for this match, here it is. Sort of versus Tasia. I might have misspoke before. It is Sort of versus Tasia. But yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning on in. We're going to have a short break, and then we'll get on into it.